Hello everybody and welcome to this Train SimWorld 3 news video. Today we will be looking at the very long awaited Deutsche Bahn Class 420 for Train SimWorld 3. This has been in development for over a year, and I'll touch on that a little bit later on in the video, but it's been such a long time in waiting, and it really does promise so much, and it doesn't feel like it's too far away now. So without further ado, let's jump straight in. So brief overview. It's obviously an electric multiple unit, and it adds variety to the existing S-Bahn services with another multiple unit, and it layers onto Hauptstrasse Munich to Augsburg. So that the S-Bahn services on there, I'll look at which S-Bahn services and where that runs on the route on the next slide. But it does not add any new trackage, so it's just a Loco DLC, similar to like the Acela that's just released. So this is the route, as you can see. So in the bottom right, we have the Munich S-Bahn core. So this is where you'll get a train every 2-3 minutes. Now I'll point out that this map only shows the S-Bahn services that we have on the route. So it doesn't show the full route, and it doesn't show the full S-Bahn. So we obviously don't go to Munich HBF because that is in a tunnel and they haven't modelled the tunnel. So this red bit is where all of the lines converge, and here we have LZB signalling, and this black bit is one specific line of the S-Bahn, so there's much lower frequencies. However, they're still reasonably high, and then obviously the simulated line continues up to Augsburg, but Mammendorf is where the S-Bahn terminates. Now, in truth, it's quite hard to find resources on timetables for the DB420 because it's all in German, and I don't speak German. So this is all of the S-Bahn that we have access to with the 423, which we currently have, the more modern EMU that came with the route. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be only west of Pacing or only east of Pacing or a certain section of this. I don't know. But it won't be any more than this, is all I can say. This is the absolute maximum. And in terms of speed limits, it's the same as everything else that we have so far. So this is some more technical information about the train. And this screenshot is one of the few that we actually have of the exterior of the train actually in Train SimWorld. And you can see from the Train SimWorld 2 logo in the bottom just how long this has been in development. That, you know, this was taken out of a roadmap from April last year. So it has been in development for such a long time. So they were built from 1967 to 1997, so quite a long time span. 480 of the trains were built. There are 3 carriages in each train. They put a maximum power output of 2,400 kilowatts. They have a maximum speed of 120 kilometers per hour. Their power source is the 15 kilovolts, 16 2/3 hertz AC overhead line feed from a pantograph that we get in Germany and Switzerland. In terms of safety systems, we have the usual SIFA and PZB, but we also have LZB to go into the S-Bahn core section, as we can see here in the red. That section all has LZB high capacity signalling, and they've been in service in Munich since 1972. And as I mentioned many times already, they run the S-Bahn services. Alright, we'll have a look at the history now. So, these trains, they were built for various S-Bahn networks around Germany. They were nicknamed the excuse my German, the Olympia Triebwagen, which is German for Olympic Multiple Unit. They were originally painted in blue in Munich and orange in Dusseldorf and Frankfurt. They were all repainted into DB Traffic Red livery, however. They were originally removed from service in Munich in 2004. However, in 2014, 36 were reintroduced after extensive modifications and refurbishments, of which that included adding LZB. They were reintroduced to cover for other trains that were being pulled out for their refurbishments. So, they'll be expected to be withdrawn sometime soon. In truth, I don't know if they have been already. But I'm pretty sure the route is set more or less present day, so who knows? I'm not very, I've had to really scrape the bottom of the English language internet for this information, and there still really isn't much. So this is as best as I can do information-wise. We'll have a look at some of the noteworthy mentions. So, of course, this is another vintage German train alongside the ones we've got with Bremen and the new West Rhine, and you can have a look at my West Rhine video in the card in the top right. In terms of features on the train, knowing the developer, the third-party dev TrainSim Germany, they have gone above and beyond with the features, and they, this is only what we had, or what they announced in April last year. So who knows what other features they've added since then. It has been a year. So in April last year, they had worked individually opening passenger hopper windows, the reverser key being stored on a shelf in the train, and you need to pick it up and insert it. So you can't just sit down and control W and off you go. You have to pick it up from the area and stick it down accordingly. The cab door is not locked as I've written there, but you can't open it unless the driver's chair has been properly stowed, which I guess is a similar fashion to the Class 483 or the 1938 stock, where you can't open the door when the chair is down because it'll collide with the chair. And as well, we have real audio that's been recorded by a real driver, and I assume that driver has also had some input into the physics and nifty features. So, overall, I think the immersion will be very good in this train. And we can see here from the driver's desk in the screenshot, it got sort of our normal, usual German sort of switch layout. On the very left side of the levers of the joysticks, we have our reverser handle, which I presume has, neutral reverse forwards. Next, we have the throttle. Over here on the right, we'd have our brakes, and then perhaps this last one is a horn, although it doesn't seem not right for that to be a horn, maybe a parking brake or something else. And then in the middle of the dash, we can see, obviously, the retrofitted screens, presumably for LZB and all of the other new things that were added in their refurbishment. So, should I buy this? When I mean I mean you. Probably. It's far too early to tell, but based on the screenshots, it looks pretty bloody good. So, it's come from the third-party developer TrainSim Germany, which have a fantastic record. They've only actually released the G6 Shunter so far, but that was a phenomenal train. It is fantastic to drive, very detailed. They're also doing the Niedertal Bahn as well, and that hasn't released yet, but from what we've seen, it is also phenomenal. And they also worked alongside Dovetail Games to deliver the Turrante ramp and the I forgot what it is, the tilting DMU that works on that, and that train is also phenomenal on the route as well. So they've got a fantastic track record, much better than Dovetails, and much better than the other third-party devs. And that said, though, they only have 2 people working in there. There's Mike and presumably a friend of Mike's. So their team is 2 people as opposed to Dovetails, which is in excess of 20. So they have multiple projects going on. They got the Ludmilla 232, which we haven't heard about, and it's been announced for even longer. We've known about it for probably a year and a half, 2 years now. This train, obviously, the 420, which seems like it might be fairly close to delivery. And as well, the Nidatal Bahn and all of the other stuff that they've done for Dovetail Games. So it's been in development for a long time, over a year, and that's sort of a common trend with most of the things that TSG have developed. And that's sort of the price that you got to pay for a small third party delivering fantastic content. And of course, it adds more visual interest and more unique traction to drive, more heritage traction, which I honestly prefer because they all have their own character. And you really need to master them, and you don't have computers helping you out along the way. And all of the stuff that we currently have for Munich Ergsweg is really uber modern. ICEs, they've got the new 423s, 425s, all of these new EMUs, and even the freight locos, they're very new, and the loco haul passenger, they've all got Trax locos, Bombardier Trax locos, which are new on the front, so having this older feel to the route, I think will be really, really beneficial. And as I was talking about in the previous slide, the expected release, who knows, perhaps in a month, perhaps in 2, perhaps in December, perhaps in 2024. It's a bit like Sydney Metro. No one knows when it's going to open. But yeah, hopefully not too long. That's about all I can say. There's not really much to speculate on, and we haven't had really any news on this train for ages and ages and ages. But considering that these screenshots that I've been showing are all from April last year, I should think that it is going to be pretty stonks, pretty full of features, pretty good to drive, very realistic, very polished, and probably not too far away. So yeah, lots to look forward to with this Loco DLC. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please do consider subscribing. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.